Oh my gosh, is he gonna say Jojoba again? I guess you're going to have to wait and find out. Let's talk about AF460 by Benjamin Moore. We got the code, now let's get to cracking. I'm James, and this is The Paint People, where we talk about all things painting, decorating, and design. Color code is where we take a color and break it down into as much detail as possible. We're going to go over this color's undertones, its light reflectance value, which will determine how light or dark it is compared to other colors, and then we'll hit you with some color pairings, some excellent trim color choices, and finally give you some tips on where you can go about using this color. And also, this video is sponsored by the like button. Hit it for good karma. So we're talking about a color called Jojoba. There, I did it. There's another color that has the exact same name by Behr Paint, but the only characteristics they share is the fact that they're both green. The Benjamin Moore variety is quite a bit deeper and is a cross between sage and hunter green. It has quite a bit of saturation to it with an LRV of around 23, and it comes across as a bit of an olive green that has been toned down with some gray and a bit less yellow warmth present. I find it to be a beautifully rich color, and it's actually part of my second favorite color collection, the Benjamin Moore Affinity, or AF line. These are the colors that were released alongside Aura paint, and what makes it fun is the fact that the palette was really carefully put together so that all of the colors seem to work well with one another. And spoiler alert, some of the color pairings we're going to talk about are also part of that same line. I wanted to go with some slightly lighter options because of how dark Jojoba is. The first one I want to talk about adds some lovely creaminess, and the color is called Lychee. This is definitely an off-white because of its fairly high LRV of 82, but it's taking a lot of inspiration from the fruit it's named after. Not necessarily the outer skin, but more so the inner flesh of the fruit, which has the subtlest of peachy undertones coming through its beige. This would be a pretty light wall color, but it has enough colorant to give it character rather than a stark white look, so feel free to use it on your walls as well. It's also a potential option for your trim, but I have another color in mind that I feel would suit Jojoba even better on the woodwork. The second color pairing that would add some elegance is not necessarily lacking in warmth, but it adds a lot more blue, and that's Swept Away 701. This beautiful tone of teal has a really nice light reflectance value of around 64, and that's a perfect LRV for most walls. It has enough going on where it'll retain its color no matter how bright your interior lighting gets, but not so dark and deep that it'll affect the space negatively as well. The blue and green coming together has a bit of a land and sea narrative going on, but Swept Away has a touch of green, which helps it coordinate even better with Jojoba. A trim color that I really enjoy with Jojoba is another AF color, and the name is Mascarpone AF20. I tend to call this an alternative to Simply White because they both have a really high LRV, right around 91, and they also contain some yellow in their undertones. Mascarpone is definitely more forward with its vanilla ice cream warmth, and it really adds a delicious sense of richness, much like the cheese it was named after. What can I say? I love cheese. I just want to remind you though, the default trim color that a lot of people will go with naturally is more of a clean stark white, and Mascarpone isn't that. So just be aware that the warmth coming through it will be noticeably warm, but that's why I love it. So the all important question here is, where would I use Jojoba as a color in a home, or where would I most likely use it? I really like the idea of putting it on kitchen cabinets, rather than just defaulting it as an accent wall color. And normally I would probably recommend maybe just painting the island or the bottom half with it, but why not just continue it all the way up? I think that would look great. Also, Jojoba would be a really great exterior color, especially on siding of a shed or even the main body of a house. It's earthy and saturated, but not overly bright and vibrant, so I find it would really suit the outdoors quite well. If you have any other colors that you think I would struggle pronouncing, please recommend them in the comment section below and watch me struggle. I love you guys. Especially the ones that like this video. See you in the next one.